Congrats on the win. I realize it's just one game, but when this team has been through the struggles that we've all watched recently of trying to put a system together, what do you want this win to say to them in their efforts?
Well, I don't know that it says anything other than I do think the first 30 minutes of the game show the possibilities, at least, of what we can be. Now, granted, we were making a lot of shots, but for 30 minutes, we even guarded pretty well. And then we didn't really guard at all in the last 18 minutes. But for 30 minutes, I think it showed the possibilities of what we can be.
It was a fantastic first half. What to you was the key to closing out that second half when you weren't playing your best, and like any good team does, they were certainly going on their runs?
I mean, yeah, the biggest thing is we didn't give the ball away. That was good down the stretch. We didn't give the ball away. That's key. And we did on a couple of possessions, even though we still gave up buckets. We made them take a little bit of time. They didn't get anything quick and easy. So we had enough to hang on. I mean, I didn't think we finished it great, but we did enough to get the win, and that's important.
But you had a lot of guys who shot the ball well tonight, but the effort by Steven Adams as far as what he was doing, rebounding the ball, getting on the floor, just doing little things, those are situations in box scores that really go unnoticed, but it was a huge part of this ball game.
Yeah, no, Steven made some great plays. He took on a nearly impossible defensive situation. You have a 6'10" center guarding the two-time MVP of the league, and then getting on the boards, 20 rebounds. On the floor for 3 loose balls. I mean, just absolutely huge tonight. Played fantastic and played 38 minutes, which is, I believe, the most he's played all year and a little above where we would like him to be.
We saw Nico Melli tonight for 16 minutes. He was the MVP for the last 5 games. Did you feel it was just a better matchup against Milwaukee to get Nico the minutes and actually made some big buckets for him?
Well, we just thought that coming off the bench, we needed to have some time against a really good defensive team that really guards the paint, that we needed to be able to spread the floor out a little bit more. And so when we went to the second unit, I decided to go with him instead of Jackson to get more space on the floor to operate.
Hey, Coach, this is Will from The Athletic. Considering how up and down those guys have been this year offensively, how big was it to get a combined 14 threes from your backcourt, Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to have them shoot the ball. And I thought that, our guys were making plays to each other, which I thought was great. I thought Zion consciously, early in the game especially, get in the paint and find open people. 7 assists for him tonight. That was huge.
Did you think it was especially important for Lonzo to have a game like this?
Well, I think when you're playing a team as good as Milwaukee, you need a lot of people to have a good game. So I thought it was important that he had a good game. Thought it was important that Bled had a good game. Thought it was important that B.I. had a good game. I mean, that's what it takes to win. So, yeah, of course it was important. It was important that all those guys played well. Josh played well. I mean, that's what it takes. You need to have a lot of guys play well.
Stan, you just briefly hit on it, but what did you just think about the job that Steven Adams did early on in that game against Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Listen, it's hard. I mean, that guy's a great, great player, and Steven competed and did a good job. Late in the game, I thought our defense spread out too much. We didn't give Steven enough help going to the basket. Early in the game, I thought Steven played him well, and our defense was in. I didn't think we were doing that in the second half. So when our team did what they were supposed to do, Steven was pretty good.
It's Stan, Scott Kushner with Pillow.com. Your rotation changed a little bit tonight. You mentioned Melli a little bit there, but no JJ, no Jackson. Was that, a larger reason, or was that just a matchup situation?
I didn't plan at all to not play those guys. I knew I was going to go with Nico as my first shot off the bench to try to get spread. I did not plan to not play JJ. Both Lonzo and Bled had it going, and so we didn't go real deep into the bench. JJ will be back in there very soon.
Hey, Coach, this is Fletcher from NBC New Orleans. I know you told us earlier this week, and I'm paraphrasing here, that faith is belief in the unseen. You believe in your players. I guess that's a two-way street. How important is it for a tangible result like this for them to believe what you're coaching and what you all are doing? How far does that go, maybe picking up a win like this against a quality team?
Well, I mean, look, belief is hard when you're losing. I don't care. And especially when you're new and you don't have a record of success as a group and then a new coaching staff. So it's both. I mean, they don't have a record of success together from last year. And then we started off really hard. I think Hubie said before the game that we had played the third hardest schedule in the league. We've run into a lot of really good people. I mean, if you look at, the stats and the net rating of teams, 5 of our last 7 games now have been against the top 4 teams in the league. So, we've hit a rough stretch. It was good to get a win, and winning always helps you in terms of your belief in each other, in the system, in everything else. So, winning helps you keep winning, and losing makes it tough for people to have belief. But our guys hung in there and got a win.
Hey Stan, it's Andrew from ESPN. You briefly mentioned it earlier, but how big was just the ball movement all around? 32 assists is a team high for the season, but not just in the first half, but in the second half when Milwaukee was kind of chipping away. It didn't seem like you guys went to ISO ball too much there.
We tried not to. I did think our offense slowed down. They got into us, and we didn't have the freedom of movement that we had in the first half. I didn't think we were quite as good moving, but we didn't try to, just go one-on-one. And even the guys who did make one-on-one moves, I thought were willing to pass the ball. So we just tend to slow every time we get a lead, and that's going to have to stop. I mean, we've got to sustain good play for longer, but it was a really good 30 minutes.
Yeah, sticking to that same thing, you mentioned after the Washington game that you like some of the passes Zion was making, finished with a career high 7 assists tonight. Just what are you seeing from that part of his game right now?
Well, I think he and Brandon are both consciously, they understand the attention they're going to draw, they're trusting their teammates, and they're making the pass. And, we've talked to both of them, and they totally get it that, if you want to be lead guys on a winning team, you have to help your teammates. It's not about just putting up numbers. Both of those guys are able to put up numbers at any time, but to become winning players, you've got to help your teammates, and they both have done that the last 2 games.
Hey, Stan, I know you play again tomorrow night. You mentioned Adams' workload. Maybe this is too soon. Have you thought about how you'll handle that? Will anybody need to be pulled back or played differently because of that?
I mean, we'll see. I haven't done any Houston preparation yet. Tomorrow morning we'll be in early, the staff, and we'll start talking about some of that, and then we'll walk through with our team and get ready. But I mean, this game just ended. I haven't really had much time to do Houston preparation.
We're all set. Thank you, Coach.
All right.